Shakespeare Saved My Life, 10 Years in Solitary with the Bard, is a 2013 memoir by Laura Bates that recounts her experience teaching Shakespeare's works to prison inmates. The narrative centers on Larry Newton, a prisoner who profoundly engages with her literature lessons and ultimately collaborates with Bates to create Shakespeare workbooks, establishing himself as a peer on the subject. Structured like a workbook, the book highlights the lessons Bates learned from her teaching, the inmates' responses, and the broader implications of Shakespeare's plays. She weaves in relevant quotes from his works to illustrate key anecdotes and insights. Most of the story unfolds in Indiana prisons, beginning with Bates teaching freshman-level English classes to the general prison population. She soon discovers the absence of educational programs for inmates in the restricted supermax unit and feels a calling to provide them with the education they desperately need. With support from the warden, Bates gains access to these often overlooked prisoners, deemed the worst of the worst, and starts a voluntary program focused on Shakespeare. She selects plays she believes will resonate with them, such as Macbeth, which explores themes of violence, guilt, and war, and Romeo and Juliet, highlighting not only teenage romance, but also the underlying currents of teen violence and anger, as seen through Romeo's actions. Throughout this journey, Bates forms a friendship with Larry Newton, a convicted murderer serving a life sentence without parole. Despite his violent past and years spent in segregation, Bates recognizes his intelligence and literary insight, describing her discussions with him as more enthusiastic than any she had experienced in a college setting. Though she fought hard for her educational initiative, she never anticipated encountering such a brilliant mind within the prison walls. She, too, had been conditioned to expect far less from convicted criminals. Larry confides in Bates that Shakespeare saved his life. At first, she thinks he's joking, but he is earnest. He reveals later that he reached a breaking point in solitary confinement, feeling so desperate that he contemplated suicide. When Bates introduced her classes, Shakespeare provided him with an opportunity to engage with literature for the first time in years, something to think about and challenge himself with. In essence, Shakespeare prevented him from taking his own life. Bates emphasizes that Larry's experience is not unique. Shakespeare has been instrumental in helping other offenders transform their lives. In doing so, they not only save themselves but also spare potential future victims had they continued their criminal ways. Shakespeare's insights into human nature allowed Bates's prisoners to gain a deeper understanding of themselves. This self-reflection often sparked a desire for personal growth and change. While Larry may never attain freedom, he finds purpose in assisting Bates with the creation of Shakespeare workbooks, contributing to a meaningful cause. Over the years, both Bates and her students undergo significant transformations. Guards notice the changes in Larry, observing his reduced violent behavior, and express their surprise at the positive impact of Shakespeare. For Newton, Shakespeare serves as a reminder of his own humanity. However, not everything unfolds smoothly. Bates encounters setbacks along the way, and not every student experiences such a dramatic change. Just as the Shakespeare program gains national recognition, the state of Indiana cuts funding for prisoner education. Although Bates's program is volunteer-based and cannot be financially affected, the irony of the situation isn't lost on her. She reflects that this twist represents the true tragedy behind many stories of crime and punishment. Shakespeare Saved My Life received widespread acclaim, with critics praising its impact. Publishers Weekly described it as gratifying and effective, while Kirkus labeled it an eye-opening study reiterating the perennial power of books. Bates's program continues to thrive, inspiring other educators to bring similar initiatives to incarcerated individuals. I hope you enjoyed this video. Leave a like if you did, and be sure to subscribe. Thank you.